One of the most commonly asked questions I get is how to do the carnivore diet. So today we're going to talk about that. Hey, welcome back to the Carnivore Revolution. I'm Serena, and today we're going to talk about the carnivore diet and how to get started. But I do want to just take a couple of minutes first to talk about why you might want to do the carnivore diet. So what would really be best throughout the day is if your glucose, your insulin levels could just kind of be steady throughout the day. But what normally happens to people is you have a package of oatmeal for breakfast or a bagel or cereal or even fruit, and your glucose goes up, right? And then you have a crash, maybe 10:30 in the morning, and you think, oh, I got to have something. That's when you're looking for a snack, you're eating some candy, you're going to the vending machine and getting a candy bar or, a Snickers bar because Snickers really satisfies, or you get a granola bar or a protein bar, which is really just a glorified candy bar. But either way, whatever you get, your sugar is going to come back up. And then right around lunchtime, it's starting to crash again. And you think, oh, good, it's time to eat. So you eat whatever your sandwich is with fries or potato chips, and your glucose is going to come back up. And then throughout the day, you have like this roller coaster effect, right? And then around 3:30 in the afternoon, it starts to crash. You feel like you got to have a snack, right? So you end up raising and lowering your glucose levels all day long, which is really not healthy. I like to look at it like, so let's say you have an electronic garage door opener, right? You're only going to push that button so many times and have it work, right? You're going to push it, it's going to open, you're going to push it, it's going to close. But at some point, it's going to quit working. That's kind of how I like to explain what happens when somebody becomes a type 2 diabetic. It's because you've had this happen so often, all day long, every day, year after year, and eventually it kind of stops working. And that's when you're going to have to start using insulin or taking medication. And so we want to avoid that at all costs if we can. And it's really not that hard. So, how do you get started with the carnivore diet? So, with the carnivore diet, you end up with a level that's more like this, with a few little blips here and there, depending on which animal products you eat, which things might have just a little bit of carbohydrates in them, like eggs and dairy. And that's really the goal, is to kind of have a really good baseline there with your levels. And so to start the carnivore diet, what you want to do is you want to get rid of some of the foods in your house that might be trigger foods for you, the things that are going to trip you up and make you not be able to stick to the carnivore diet. Now, if you have other people in your house, that's going to be hard, right? Because if the other people in your house aren't doing the carnivore diet or aren't low carb, they're going to want to have those other foods in the house. So you really just have to tell yourself those aren't foods anymore. And they're really not. Most of those products are not foods. They are potato chips fried in vegetable oils that didn't even exist 100 years ago. We don't know officially what kind of effects those are having on us, but I have a feeling it's not very good. If you look around and you look at your average person, you shouldn't want to be average, because average is sick and overweight and unhealthy, right? So this is a way you can fix that. So you want to get rid of some of those foods if you can. If the other family members want those foods and you can't get rid of them, then you really just have to be dedicated and tell yourself this is what you're going to do. So then you want to start with a really good, satisfying, nourishing meal. Now, let's say it's dinner time and you're watching this video. You don't have to start with breakfast. You don't have to start, the beginning of the day. We always like, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll wait till Monday. I'll wait till next Monday. I'll wait till the beginning of the month. I'll wait till New Year's Eve to make my resolution, and then I'll do a better job with my food. You can start right now today, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack time, with being a carnivore. And you're going to level out that blood sugar. You're going to feel great. You're going to have lots of energy. The first week will be a little bit hard because your body currently is running on carbohydrates, and you're going to teach it to burn fat. So in order to do that, you want to eat things that are high fat, calorie dense, nutrient dense. So you want to eat things like eggs and lots of meat. You can eat any kinds of animal products. So you can certainly have some dairy, but you do need to be a little bit careful with dairy because it's easy to get carried away with. It does have some things in it that can be a little bit addictive, and some of us are abstainers and we kind of have to abstain from dairy sometimes. But in the beginning, I tell people, just go ahead and have the dairy. You need to be able to nourish yourself and feel good and not feel deprived of anything in the beginning. You don't need to count calories. You just need to wake up in the morning and be determined and take it one meal at a time. This is tough. It's tough to give up the sugar and the carbohydrates. If you don't think you're addicted to those things, just go ahead and try to give them up and see how that makes you feel, because you really will go through withdrawals when you give up the carbohydrates and the sugar. So give those up one meal at a time. So let's say that you're going to start with breakfast. You want to wake up tomorrow, you want to have a really good nourishing breakfast, like 3 or 4 eggs or 6 eggs if you need to have that many to make yourself feel full, fried in butter or bacon grease. You can sprinkle a little bit of cheese on there, have some bacon on the side or some sausage. You want to be really full, you can make yourself an omelet. If you can get some really good clean deli meat, make yourself a ham and cheese omelet if you want to, just so that you're feeling full and satisfied. And then for lunch, you're not going to have your traditional lunch. You're not going to go pick up a sub. You're not going to stop and get some pizza. Bring your lunch and you can make yourself some roll-ups with the deli meat, with some cheese, with some avocado oil mayonnaise inside. You don't want to use regular mayonnaise that's filled with vegetable and seed oils. You want to use a good quality avocado oil mayonnaise, or you can make your own. But since we're talking about just getting started in the beginning, some of these things are going to be overwhelming. So in the beginning, you want to just eat what's easy for you to find and what's going to help you stick with the diet. So if you are going to go out for lunch, Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, Five Guys, In-N-Out, lots of those restaurants, their hamburger patties are 100% beef. So go ahead and order just some hamburger patties. If that makes you feel weird, then order it with the bun and order it plain without the ketchup and the mustard and without all the vegetables, and then just take the bun off. I like to order it without the bun. It's easier for me because otherwise you lose some of the cheese. If you're going to get a cheeseburger, some of the cheese sticks to it. Lots of those restaurants, though, are really used to giving people the hamburger patties without all of the other stuff on them. So don't feel weird about it. Just order yourself some patties. You can go in and say, I would just like to order from your a la carte menu, or can I just get 3 or 4 beef patties? It's really easy to do. Don't feel weird about it. Feel like maybe you're starting a revolution. Maybe people are going to see you ordering like that, and maybe they're going to order like that, and then it'd be good for them, right? So get some patties until you're full. If you need 6 of them, eat 6 of them. And then for dinner, make some hamburgers at home or have some steak. I buy lots of hamburger meat and steak when it's on sale and I put it in the freezer. But you can have eggs again. You can make yourself pork chops. You can make a beef roast, brisket. There are so many different kinds of meat. So that's what a day should look like. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I would say eat 3 meals in the beginning for sure. Definitely for the first, give yourself 30 days. Say, I'm going to do this for 30 days. The first week or so is going to be a little bit difficult, so don't give up. It's because you're going to be tired. You're still going to have some cravings, but you're going to feel really good. And if right now you're having aches and pains or joint pain, or you're fatigued a lot, you're going to start to feel better almost right away. I've seen people get off insulin in just a couple of days. Once you level out your blood sugar, you are going to feel so much better. So give yourself that opportunity and know that the cravings that you're having are the withdrawal symptoms from the carbohydrates and sugar that you're so used to eating, and beat that. Tell yourself you're not going to give in to that. Just tell yourself you're going to do it. Now, if you're about to send me a message or you're about to comment on here and ask me if you can have an avocado, the answer is no. If you want to be 100% carnivore, and I think everybody should do that for at least 30 or 60 days, you do not want to have an avocado. If having a little bit of some sugar-free sauces here and there is going to get you through the first month, then have the sugar-free sauces. There are some decent brands out there that I've seen people using. G. Hughes is a decent brand of sugar-free sauces that you can use. And again, if that's going to get you through, then I see nothing wrong with that in the first 30 or 60 days. Although obviously it's better, you know, and I know, everybody knows it's better to be strict and it's better to just adhere to the plan because you're going to feel better. But kind of what happens is if you use those things a little bit along the way, you just start to think, how much better could I feel if I wasn't using those products? And you'll know when that time is coming. You'll know when you're ready to give those up and see how you really feel. My friend Dr. Anthony Chafee likes to say, going that last 5% carnivore makes 95% of the difference for most people. So just kind of keep that in mind. But as long as you're doing it and you're doing it right and you're doing it well, you are going to feel so much better. And then again, you might say, well, these little things can kind of go. Like maybe I don't need the diet soda anymore. Maybe I don't need that artificial cream in my coffee. Those things are going to go away eventually. But I definitely think just getting started is the main thing and just sticking with that. So there's definitely an adjustment period, but you can definitely do it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I think you should get started on the carnivore diet right now, this very minute, no matter what time of day it is and no matter what meal you're on. And you can do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.